What if I told you that everything you've been taught about healing is missing the most important piece? A truth so powerful, the $4.5 trillion health industry hopes you'll never find it. Because the greatest healing force in the universe isn't hiding in a pill, a hospital, or a specialist's office. It's been quietly waiting inside you all along. For centuries, ancient wisdom keepers whispered about this inner power, a force that could reverse illness, mend emotional wounds, and restore wholeness. And today, modern science is finally catching up, proving what those old Zen masters always knew. Your body is not just a collection of parts to be fixed, it's a living, intelligent system with a blueprint for perfect health. Yet most people will never tap into it. We've been conditioned to look outward, to believe that healing always comes from someone or something else. We hand over our power, hoping for a cure, when the real key is already in our pocket. Think of your body like a garden. Medicine and treatments can be like rain and fertilizer. They help. But without sunlight, nothing truly grows. That sunlight is your own awareness, your own connection to the self-healing intelligence within. Without it, the healing is temporary. With it, transformation becomes inevitable. History is full of quiet miracles. People who, against all odds, recovered from illnesses doctors had given up on. They didn't just change their treatments, they changed their relationship with themselves. They learned to work with their body, not against it. And you don't have to disappear into a monastery or spend years meditating in a cave to access this. It begins with a simple, radical idea. You are not broken. The moment you stop chasing healing as if it's somewhere out there and instead turn inward, something shifts. Your cells listen. Your mind calms. Your whole being begins to remember how to be well. Today, we'll step into a part of the video I like to call the true nature of healing and the door we've forgotten to open. This is where we'll go deep into the heart of something Hippocrates himself hinted at over 2,000 years ago. Healing is a matter of time, but it is sometimes also a matter of opportunity. The question is, what opportunity? And the answer, though simple, is one most of us overlook every single day. The opportunity to turn inward. Every culture that has walked this earth, from the healers of ancient China, to the Ayurvedic masters of India, to the medicine people of native traditions, has recognized the same truth. Inside each human being is a natural power to heal, not just to repair wounds or fight disease, but to bring the entire body and mind back into balance. They spoke of this not as magic, but as a law of nature, as real as gravity. Modern science is now pulling back the curtain on how this works. Dr. Herbert Benson from Harvard Medical School discovered that when we focus our attention inward, the body's self-healing systems switch on like a light. Heart rate slows, blood pressure drops, stress hormones fade, and the immune system begins to strengthen. Dr. Candace Pert, a pioneer in neuroscience, revealed that our emotions don't just color our mood, they send chemical messengers throughout the body that literally change our biology. A thought of fear or resentment can trigger a flood of stress hormones that weaken your immune defenses. But a thought of compassion, gratitude, or love releases an entirely different set of chemicals, the kind that activate repair and regeneration. Think about that for a moment. The way you think and feel right now is not just shaping your mind, it's shaping your immune system, your hormones, even the way your genes express themselves. This is not abstract philosophy, it's biology in real time. Yet here's the tragedy. We live in a world that teaches us to trust almost everything except ourselves. We're encouraged to believe that healing is something done to us, not something that can happen through us. We go from doctor to doctor, from treatment to treatment, searching for answers, while ignoring the one place that has been holding the key all along: our own inner life. Real healing begins when we reconnect with that inner power, when we stop treating our mind and body like separate strangers and instead see them as partners in the same dance. This is why being fully present in the here and now is so essential. The present moment is not just time passing, it's the only place your body can truly heal. When your mind is constantly pulled into regrets about the past or fears about the future, your nervous system stays in a state of emergency. Your body can't repair itself when it's busy preparing for a threat that isn't even here. But the moment you anchor yourself in the now, by breathing deeply, by noticing the sensations in your body, by allowing your thoughts to pass like clouds. You create the exact biological conditions your body needs to repair, restore, and renew. Picture a still lake at dawn. When the water is agitated, you can't see the reflection of the sky. But when it becomes calm, the beauty is revealed in perfect clarity. Your mind works the same way. In stillness, your body's intelligence emerges. In noise, it gets drowned out. This is not about rejecting medical care or pretending illness doesn't exist. It's about recognizing that any outside help works best when it awakens the power already within you. Pills, treatments, and therapies can support you, but their greatest success happens when they align with your body's natural healing rhythms. So here's the truth we so often forget. Your body is not your enemy. It's not broken beyond repair. It's waiting patiently for you to listen, to trust, and to join forces with it. The opportunity Hippocrates spoke of is here, in every breath you take, every thought you choose, every moment you decide to be fully present. And perhaps the most powerful question you can ask yourself today is, what would happen if I stopped running from myself and started listening to the wisdom within? Because in that listening, you may just find that the healing you've been chasing has been quietly reaching for you all along. Sometimes when we finally understand the true nature of healing, another question arises. If this power is within me, why do I still suffer? The next part of our journey takes us into what I call the hidden trap of suffering and dependence, a quiet place where many of us unknowingly get stuck. More than 2,500 years ago, the Buddha taught that all suffering comes from attachment, from clinging too tightly to how we think life should be. This truth doesn't just apply to relationships or possessions, it reaches right into how we approach our own healing. When we fixate on finding answers only outside ourselves, in pills, treatments, or the next miracle cure, we risk becoming dependent. And dependency in this case is dangerous because it often soothes symptoms without touching the root cause. Modern science is now confirming what the Buddha saw so clearly. Your mind is not just a passenger in the healing process, it is the driver. Thousands of studies have shown that your thoughts, beliefs, and emotional patterns shape your health in measurable, physical ways. Negative mental states keep your body in stress mode, blocking recovery. Positive, empowered states allow your body to switch into repair mode. Psychologists have a term for what happens when we give away our power: external locus of control. It means we believe that our fate, and in this case our health, is in someone else's hands. Over time, the brain physically rewires itself to expect rescue from the outside. The longer we stay in that pattern, the weaker our inner authority becomes. Dr. Lissa Rankin's groundbreaking research found something remarkable. Patients who reclaimed their inner authority, who began to trust their own body's signals and take an active role in their healing, had recovery rates up to 3 times higher than those who remained dependent on outside validation. It wasn't always the treatment that made the difference. It was the belief about who was in charge of the healing. What's even more surprising is that symptoms themselves, the very pain, discomfort, or illness we often try to silence, can be the doorway to our deepest healing. When approached from a place of self-leadership rather than helplessness, they become messengers, carrying vital information about where our life, mind, and body are out of harmony. But most of us have been taught to fear or suppress symptoms as quickly as possible. We numb them, hide them, medicate them away. The result? We may feel temporary relief, but we miss the opportunity to understand what our body is actually trying to tell us. It's like hearing an alarm in your house and just cutting the wire without ever checking where the smoke is coming from. Breaking this cycle begins with one shift: seeing yourself as the ultimate authority in your healing journey. That doesn't mean rejecting medical care. It means entering that relationship as a partner, not a passive recipient. You listen to the advice, you weigh it against your inner wisdom, and you make choices that align with both. When you reclaim that authority, something powerful happens. Your brain's neural pathways begin to change. Your stress hormones decrease. Your immune system activates. You stop chasing healing as if it's somewhere else, and you start living from a place where healing becomes a natural byproduct of your inner alignment. And maybe the most profound truth is this: the moment you stop looking at your symptoms as enemies and start seeing them as guides, your entire relationship with yourself changes. You stop asking, when will this go away? And start asking, what is this trying to teach me? That is where real healing begins. Not in erasing the pain immediately, but in listening to the wisdom it's trying to bring you. When we finally step out of the trap of suffering and dependence, something remarkable happens. We begin to sense the quiet space that has been here all along, waiting for us. And that brings us to the next part of our journey. The healing power hidden in stillness. In a world that never stops making noise, silence has almost become a forgotten art. Yet this silence is not empty. It's the very space where the deepest healing in your body begins. Noise and constant worry are not just annoyances. They are intrusions that shatter your body's natural ability to restore itself. Research shows the average person experiences about 6,200 intrusive thoughts every single day. Each of those thoughts, especially when charged with fear or anxiety, triggers microbursts of stress chemicals. These keep your body locked in survival mode, where healing processes are shut down and every system is focused on defense instead of repair. But here's the extraordinary truth. Just 7 minutes of true, undisturbed stillness can reset your entire autonomic nervous system. In this state, something called the relaxation response kicks in, flooding your body with healing hormones that no pill can replicate. Muscles soften, blood vessels open, inflammation lowers, and your immune system begins to awaken. Zen masters have known this for centuries. They call it mushin, no mind, a state where thoughts no longer dominate and the natural intelligence of your body flows freely. It's not about forcing the mind to be blank. It's about letting go of the noise until you can hear what has been speaking softly within you all along. And intention is everything here. Entering stillness without a purpose is like planting seeds but never watering them. But when you step into quiet with a clear intention to activate your healing capacity, you are guiding your brain to rewire itself, a process neuroscientists call directed neuroplasticity. You are teaching your mind and body a new way to work together. Imagine your mind as a pond. Every ripple, every thought distorts the reflection. But when the water settles, the reflection becomes clear, and you can finally see the depth beneath the surface. That's what true stillness does. It reveals the wisdom and healing potential that's been waiting under the surface of all the noise. In this stillness, healing isn't something you chase, it becomes something you allow. When you've experienced the quiet power of stillness, something shifts deep inside. The noise fades, your body remembers, and your mind begins to see with new clarity. And that clarity leads us to the next part of our journey, a part I call the one realization that heals everything, the Zen perspective. In Zen, there's a truth so simple that it can feel almost impossible to grasp. You were never broken to begin with. This is the essence of what Buddhists call Buddha nature, the pure, whole, and unchanging part of you that exists beneath every scar, every story, and every belief about what's wrong with you. The poet Rumi expressed it perfectly. The wound is the place where the light enters you. In other words, what you've been treating as damage might actually be the doorway to your own light. The Zen view doesn't try to fix the wound, it sees the wound as an opening. True healing from this perspective is not about adding something new to make you whole. It's about removing the illusions that keep you from seeing your wholeness. When you let go of the idea that you are fundamentally flawed, you create space for your mind and body to realign with their original blueprint for health. Modern science is beginning to mirror this ancient insight. Research shows that your perception of yourself directly affects how your DNA expresses itself. When you live from the belief that you are broken, your body operates in a state of stress and survival. But when you recognize your inherent wholeness, your genes activate healing processes that may have been dormant for years. In Zen, there is no separation between mind, body, and consciousness. Each is simply a different expression of the same essence. This means that when you shift your consciousness, you shift your biology. A moment of genuine self-recognition can ripple down into every cell, changing the way your body functions. Imagine carrying a heavy pack you thought was full of essential supplies, but when you finally open it, you realize it's filled with nothing but stones. You've been struggling under the weight for years, thinking it was keeping you safe. Zen asks you to set it down, to feel what it's like to walk without it, and to discover that you were capable all along. From here, healing becomes less about chasing and more about revealing. The question changes from how do I fix myself to what's blocking me from experiencing the wholeness that's already here. And often the answer isn't another technique, but a softening, a willingness to trust that beneath every layer of pain, there is something untouched and complete. When you see yourself through this lens, your life no longer feels like a project in need of repair. It feels like a story unfolding from a place of strength, not deficiency. And that changes not only how you heal, but how you live. When you realize that healing isn't about fixing what's broken, but uncovering the wholeness that's always been there, the next question becomes, how do I actually live this truth every day? That's why the next part of our journey is what I call 4 Zen practices to awaken your inner healing wisdom. Shohi, these aren't abstract ideas. They are living practices you can integrate into your daily life, each one a doorway back to your own center. 1. Embodied presence, shikantaza. This is the art of just sitting with complete awareness. It means placing your attention gently on the part of your body that needs healing, not to change it or judge it, but simply to be with it. In this quiet observation, the mind stops fighting the body and begins to work with it. Imagine holding the hand of a friend who is in pain. Your presence is often more healing than any words. In the same way, your presence with yourself becomes the medicine. 2. Emotional non-attachment. Mujo emotions come and go like clouds drifting across the sky, but most of us chase the pleasant ones and push away the uncomfortable ones. In Zen, this clinging and rejecting is the root of suffering. Emotional non-attachment means allowing each feeling to arise, be felt fully, and pass without grasping or resisting. The RAIN method by Tara Brach. Recognize, allow, investigate, nurture is a modern expression of this. Instead of seeing negative emotions as threats, you learn to see them as waves in the ocean of your awareness. 3. Dropping the self-concept. Anatta. Our deepest suffering often comes from the identity we cling to, the stories we tell ourselves about who we are and what has happened to us. The Buddha taught non-self to remind us that we are more than these mental constructs. In practice, this means gently asking, "Who am I before this thought arises?" and resting in the open space that appears. Like a wave realizing it has always been part of the ocean, you begin to see your true nature as something vast, fluid, and free. 4. Mindful action, kinhin in motion. While many think of Zen as stillness, movement can be a powerful path to healing when done with awareness. Kinhin, or mindful walking, is the practice of placing your full attention on each step. The sensation of your feet touching the ground, the rhythm of your breath, the sounds around you. It trains the mind to stay rooted in the present while the body moves through space. This awareness in motion can dissolve stress, harmonize breath and body, and integrate mindfulness into everyday life. What's powerful about these practices is that they don't require you to escape your life or change your circumstances. They invite you to meet life as it is, with a presence that transforms your relationship to pain, fear, and uncertainty. Over time, they create a new baseline for your nervous system, one of safety, spaciousness, and trust. You may not feel a dramatic shift the first time you try them. Zen practice is like planting seeds. Some sprout quickly, others take time, but all grow if tended to with patience and consistency. The key is not to chase results, but to return again and again, allowing each moment of awareness to gently rewire your mind and body toward healing. These 4 doorways, embodied presence, emotional non-attachment, dropping the self-concept, and mindful action, are not separate paths but different expressions of the same truth. The wisdom to heal is already here. All you need is the willingness to return to it. As you begin practicing these Zen methods in daily life, a natural curiosity arises. How does all of this connect with what modern science knows? And so, the next part of our journey takes us into what I call the meeting point of ancient wisdom and modern science. Here, the timeless insights of Zen Buddhism meet the precision of neuroscience, creating a bridge between tradition and cutting-edge research. For thousands of years, Zen masters and Buddhist teachers have spoken of the inseparable link between the mind, the emotions, and the body's ability to heal. They taught that an unsettled mind weakens the body, while a calm and focused mind strengthens it. Today, neuroscience confirms this. Studies using brain imaging and immune system markers reveal how emotional states can either activate or suppress the body's natural repair systems. One of the clearest examples comes from the placebo and nocebo effects. The placebo effect shows that a person's belief in a treatment, even if it's a sugar pill, can trigger real, measurable healing responses in the body. On the other hand, the nocebo effect demonstrates how negative expectations can worsen symptoms or even create illness. Both effects prove a single point. Your perception and belief can directly influence your biology. Mindfulness-based stress reduction, MBSR, developed by Jon Kabat-Zinn, is one of the most famous integrations of Zen-based mindfulness into modern healthcare. Kabat-Zinn took the core principles of Buddhist meditation and applied them in a medical setting, helping patients with chronic pain, anxiety, and illness achieve measurable improvements. Decades of research now show that MBSR not only reduces stress, but also changes brain structure, boosts immune function, and improves quality of life. Modern technology has made these connections even clearer. Tools like EEG, electroencephalogram, and HRV, heart rate variability, monitors allow scientists to observe the physiological changes that occur during meditation and deep stillness. EEG scans show shifts in brainwave patterns linked to relaxation, focus, and emotional regulation. HRV monitoring reveals how mindful breathing and meditation strengthen the parasympathetic nervous system, the body's rest and repair mode. This blending of ancient and modern is powerful because it offers both wisdom and proof. Ancient teachings give us the guiding philosophy and practices. Modern science provides measurable evidence that these methods work. Together, they make the path of self-healing more credible and more widely accepted in mainstream healthcare. In hospitals, clinics, and wellness centers around the world, meditation rooms and mindfulness programs are now becoming as essential as physical therapy or medication. Doctors are prescribing not only pills but also breathing exercises, guided meditations, and silent retreats, acknowledging that treating the mind is inseparable from treating the body. The beauty of this integration is that it speaks to both heart and mind. The heart recognizes the truth in the ancient wisdom, that peace and balance are already within us. The mind, ever skeptical, finds reassurance in the data and research that prove these principles in action. When these two meet, faith and evidence, healing becomes not just possible, but inevitable. This meeting point is not the end of the journey. It's the gateway to a deeper realization that the most powerful medicine may not be something you take, but something you awaken. As we arrive at this final chapter, it's clear that true healing has never been about something you can simply take, buy, or receive from the outside. The real journey of healing begins the moment you rediscover your own wholeness, that unbroken nature that has always been within you, waiting to be remembered. One powerful way to anchor this realization is through a simple daily affirmation. Place your hand over your heart, close your eyes, and say, "I am whole. I am complete. Healing flows through me now." Practice this for 21 consecutive days. Why 21? Because neuroscience shows that consistent repetition over this period can create new neural pathways, literally rewiring your brain to support your body's natural healing. Your body is always listening. It doesn't argue with your deepest beliefs, it responds to them. Whether you believe in fear or in wholeness, your biology follows. So why not choose to believe in your own ability to heal? The Buddha's final words to his disciples were simple yet profound. Be a light unto yourself. This is not just spiritual poetry, it's a call to action. It means taking ownership of your own path, your own peace, and your own power to heal. If you want a practical, science-backed guide to deepen this journey, I highly recommend Jon Kabat-Zinn's Full Catastrophe Living. It's a treasure for anyone ready to bring mindfulness into daily life as a genuine healing practice. Your journey doesn't end here. Healing is not a destination. It's a living relationship with yourself, one that grows deeper every time you choose presence over distraction, compassion over judgment, and trust over fear. Every breath, every moment is a chance to return to that inner light. And when you walk this path, step by step, you're not just healing, you're becoming whole again. Take a deep breath. Feel the quiet space inside you, that sacred place where awareness meets truth. And in this stillness, see clearly the subtle trap that has kept you in suffering, giving away your power to heal. You were never broken, and you never needed to wait for permission from the outside. The Buddha's wisdom and modern science both whisper the same truth. The greatest medicine you will ever need is already within you. Every thought, every breath, every choice you make can either close the wound or let the light in. So choose today. Choose to return to yourself, to trust that your body, mind, and spirit know the way back to wholeness. The world may offer treatments, but only you can awaken the healer within. If these words have stirred something in you, share your truth in the comments. Let this be the space where we remind each other that healing begins here, within. And carry this knowing into every moment ahead. The power to heal has always been yours.